Hello and welcome to another episode of Invest Gauteng. Now, this is a series that explores the investment opportunities and strategies that the Gauteng province has to offer. In this episode, we look into the township economy and how we can recapitalise and revitalize the sector. Let's take a look. High levels of unemployment remain one of the biggest challenges facing South Africa today. The economy was already in recession pre-COVID-19 with an unemployment rate of 29%. The sudden abrupt halt in the economy as a result of the hard lockdown saw the rate of unemployment increase. Informal convenience shops alone contributed an estimated 9 billion rand to the nation's economy and created about 300,000 jobs. In March 2020, Gauteng Premier David Makhura emphasized in the State of the Province address the importance of investing and developing this economy. He announced the Township Economic Development Bill to be tabled at the Provincial Legislature in June 2020. This is a law that will nullify all bylaws that make it difficult for township businesses to operate. The intention of this bylaw is to help grow township businesses and make them the site of wealth and job creation, according to Makhura. He said the province would spend 4 billion rand annually buying goods and services from 2,000 township enterprises.
Honorable members, the single industrial ecosystem will also bring in township SMMEs into the major sectors of the economy. By 2030, Gauteng will also have the biggest inland hub and dry port in our continent. This is the Transnet Tambo Springs Logistics Highway in Ekurhuleni. This is going to be the biggest logistics hub in the continent. Tambo Springs adds to the many other aspects of our globally competitive industrial infrastructure, which is going to give the Gauteng economy a major boost as we enter the period of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
The global COVID-19 pandemic, however, put a damper on this and other economic development plans. All industries and sectors were hit hard, especially financially. Understanding the importance and contribution of the township economy, the Gauteng Provincial Government came up with a relief plan which was announced by Gauteng MEC for Finance, Nkomo-Ralehoko, during a special adjustment budget in 2020.
Growing Gauteng Together plan interventions will need to respond timelessly in a very targeted manner. Our interventions need to be tailored to a specific sector and for specific and vulnerable groups in our society. Growing Gauteng Together Plan 2030 contains a comprehensive measures that can help with the economic mitigation, job preservation, socio-economic recovery of this period. And therefore, it is critical not to lose sight of these measures because Gauteng is the engine of South Africa's economy. Towards the economic response, the following amounts have been allocated. We have allocated an amount of 250 million to support small, medium, and micro enterprises through partnerships with the private sector to raise money required to expand procurement and business development support. Supporting township economic development through regulatory reform and programs.
Even though the pandemic caused businesses to close down, it also presented new opportunities. During the hard lockdown, consumers turned to online shopping. This in turn saw an increase in delivery of vehicles for township entrepreneurs like Tulani Mkabela, who saw a gap in the market for delivering goods in marginalized areas. He launched a delivery app which couriers medication, clothes and groceries.
We found a niche market where I can locate drivers and create an app that will allow you to, at your door or at your home, sit and just order food and come through with everything. I mean, right now, our competitors, your Uber and your Mr. Delivery, they can't even reach to our township due to the restrictions and our ways.
With a continued level 3 adjusted lockdown and a daily increase of infections, this entrepreneurial spirit is an important way to embrace change and contribute to Gauteng's economy.
Indeed, joining us to unpack how we can revitalize the township economy and strengthen the sector, we have with us acting CEO of the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, that is Motlatso Moholwa. Thank you and welcome for joining us. Now, I just want a deeper understanding of the importance of investing in the township economy and also just strengthening and making sure that we establish sustainable and formal businesses in the township.
As we indicated, that township economy is becoming a very critical component of the economy of the province and that of the country. From historical perspective, one will realize that there are a lot of people residing in townships. There are a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of buying power in the townships. So we are of the view that in order to make sure that our economy is growing, unemployment is also going down, but issues of equity, and to make sure that people work and stay, stay and work where they live. It's important to make sure that we optimize our resources and make sure that we try to invest in our townships. There are a lot of potential in terms of the industrial parks, in terms of agri parks, and so on. So as part of making sure that in Gauteng we grow manufacturing, as part of our TMR agenda, it's important to take advantage of these opportunities in the townships. So as you are aware, in 2015, the province came up with an innovative strategy, which we called township economy revitalization. That strategy, we started implementing it, and I think we made some progress. But as we're implementing it, we realized that from the regulatory point of view, there are some serious challenges. Then the province decided to come up with what we call a Township Economy Development Act. And we're in the process of finalizing that act. And we think before the end of the current year, the bill will then move from being a bill to becoming an act.
I just want to know what that bill will mean for the economy of Gauteng, and how will the township economy be included in mainstream activities?
Basically, the act is more about the township enterprises. We are going to make sure that throughout the province, throughout the 3 metros and 2 districts, the bylaws, regulatory environment is simplified, is standardized, so that it's easier to do business in Gauteng and specifically in the townships. But it is also to ensure that we are able to support these businesses better in the form of financial support, as well as a number of business development interventions, including issues of market access. Our research has shown us that for the business to be successful, there are a lot of factors, and one of the key factors is financial support. It's surprising that most people thought that that will take a bulk of the success of business, but about 14%, 15% of the success of a business is dependent on the financial support. The rest, 85% or so, is on what I can call a business development support, issues of standards, issues of incubation, issues of making sure that you also have got market access. Issues of making sure that the system that you use as a business are the system that will allow you to be able to track your expenditure, to track your cash flow. So this is going to enable us to make sure that we've got a more standardized, more easier regulatory environment, but it will be also easier for us as a province to know who is trading where in which sector.
You mentioned access to funding and financial support, and we know that COVID-19 has shattered world economies, including our own, that wasn't in the best shape even pre-COVID-19, and we had challenges in terms of funding and these township businesses having access to that funding. What is the strategy that the Gauteng province has, is implementing to make sure that there's easier access to that funding and also to the channels to that funding? Because you find that a lot of businesses in the township don't even know that these channels do exist, and they don't even know where to go. So what is the Gauteng province's strategy to make sure that these channels are easier to get to?
That's a very important question. Gauteng Enterprise Propeller is a provincial agency tasked with this dual mandate of providing financial support and non-financial support, or what I would like to call business development support. What we have done since the onset of COVID-19, we are positioning Gauteng Enterprise Propeller as an aggregator of all resources within the province, whether from national, from private sector, and also international. To this end, we are establishing what we call a Gauteng SMME fund. This fund, we hope it will be a 1 billion fund. This fund will make sure that all our small businesses in the province, in all key sectors, have access to funding. But as we give them funding, we also ensure that to ensure their success, we'll also make sure that we provide them all other important aspects in terms of business development support, including market access. We are also working closely with our counterpart at national level, like CIFA, IDC, CEDA, to make sure that we converge to this as small enterprises, because we are of the view that if small enterprises are not successful and are not assisted, we will not be able to achieve our objective as a country. So we are literally hand-holding them. So this fund will come in empty. And as I said, the partnership that we're having with our sister agencies, both in the province and at national level, will also assist us. So we, as you are aware, as Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, we've got offices in all the regions. Our social media platforms are active. We are in touch with our clients on a regular basis to make sure that we share this information with them. Because without SMMEs, which are basically owned by Black people, owned by women, owned by young people, we are not going to deal with the issues of equity in this country. So in the interest of economic inclusivity and economic sustainability, if you don't assist these groups, you are going to have challenges in terms of achieving the objectives that we want to achieve as a country, to actually achieve a beautiful vision that we set for ourselves in the National Development Plan, and from Gauteng perspective in the Grow Gauteng Together 2030.
We'll have to leave it for today. Thank you very much to my guest. That was Mutlajo Moholwa, the acting CEO of the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller. And thank you for tuning in. Until next time, from me, Zinati Guma, it's goodbye.